Well, hello, welcome to another video here on my YouTube channel. I hope you are well, hope you're having a lovely day, hope you're having a lovely weekend, week, depending on whatever day it is, wherever you are across the globe. It's lovely for you to be popping in and watching this little video here. Now I say little video, I thought, let's have a look at our template library expansion pack. Now we're going to have a look at number 4, which is yellow. So when I am filming this video, it launched and sold out just within the last week or so. So therefore, that's why I thought, right, let's do a video, because we didn't get lots of demos done. We didn't get lots of time to look at it originally because, of course, it sold out. So I thought, let's do a video. Let's do a video. Let's look at our expansion pack and let's do one of the projects. One of the projects that we're going to do is a little card that enables you to put little tags, or as I thought, a little gift card in. And I thought, let's do it for a new baby. I thought it'd be really nice. You know, sometimes, for instance, my friends had wee babies, and you don't know, when they have babies, you don't know what they've got, what they need, what they're already getting. You don't really know, do you? So other than little maybe mementos or some essential baby grows or that, sometimes you just don't know. So more and more people I know like to give vouchers or gift cards so that then they can get what they need as and when they need it. But you don't just want to put the gift card in the little card you get in the shop, do you, and then hand it. You want it to have a little bit of meaning. So if you're using a gift card, although I'm not always a big fan of it because I always think no thoughts have gone into the gift when it comes from me, although the thought is, well, you're enabling yourself to get what you need, certainly when it's a new baby. So therefore the thought process goes in the way that you give the gift card, and this is where something like our template library comes into place. So what we are doing is we're going to do, as I say, we're going to be doing the yellow. I'm going to use my expressions dies because I love these ones here, this one being It's a Girl. So for this one, what we're going to be doing is we're going to then go all the way in and we're just going to have a flick through. Can't remember the name of it offhand. If you did, then of course you could just look at the index card. But here we go, double pocket fold card. Now probably if I had a proper look at the index card, I would have been able to see that this was really the title of what I needed. It made sense being a double fold pocket card. So that's what we're going to do. Now when it comes to, of course, our template library and expansion packs, more so when it comes to, of course, the actual recipe cards instructions, I pretty much know mine off by heart. Obviously, if you don't, you can just set it out of shot so that you can see it when you're crafting away. So I'm going to move it out of shot, but what I am going to do, of course, is double pocket fold card, and it's number 8. So therefore, what we're going to do is we're going to go all the way into number 8 of our templates. Number 8 is, of course, going to be our double pocket fold card. So let's take that one out, and now I can set that one out of the way. I am just going to take my recipe cards out of the way because I don't really need them. And then what I am going to do is I'm going to bring in my favourite gingham cardstock. Now we don't do this cardstock. This cardstock is from, of course, my favourite company outside Crafters Companion, and that is, of course, Sticks 2. So that's their A4 gingham cardstock. They do blue, they also do yellow, they also do red, they also do green as well. But I'm using the pink for, of course, the girls. And then I'm going to go in with the warm tones here, and we're going to be using the pinks. Maybe use a little bit of fuchsia, but certainly at the moment we're going to use pinks. Now I've not got a lot of pink left within that one, so let's go into my next one here. And let's go in with our real pinky tones. So let's take out my pinks. I might go in with a little bit of deep pink. So I'm going to take it out. I might not use it, but I might use it. So I'm going to take that one out. And then I just need to decide the actual bases. Do I want it coloured and patterned, or do I want it kept white? Let's actually make it. Let's actually make it within the gingham cardstock. So this is a good way to show, even when it comes to Sticks 2's gingham cardstock, off the top of my head it's about 250 GSM, and it goes to show that it's really, really good as well for your template library and also for construction. So what I'm going to do, because I don't like to waste any of my cardstock, I'm just going to go in and then I'm just going to hold it up to the top corner. If you wanted to, you could come along with your tape and then hold it in as well. I don't go right to the edge of my cardstock with my template. I like to cut all the way around myself. So therefore I'm just coming in ever so slightly, and then we're going to tape down, and then we're going to tape down. So I'm going to go in with my pencil here, and we're just going to draw all the way round. So we're going to draw all the way round with my pencil. Now, when it comes to what I like to do for myself, I do go quite light. Now, of course, when I'm doing these for the shows and additional videos, I tend to go quite heavy-handed. But for myself, I am just going to go in quite light. So I'm going to work my way all the way around. And I'm not sure if my... No, it's not. I'm going to have to... There we go, that's better. Let's start that one again. So there's all the way round. So I'm going quite light. And then start at a specific point. Now I know that might sound a little bit stupid. It's like, well, of course, Craig, you need to start somewhere, don't you? Just take a mental note of where you started. I know that I've started in that top corner. So I know by the time I get round there, I can stop. Sometimes you forget where you've started and you end up working your way all the way around. Sometimes you go over your lines double. Sometimes you don't quite go far enough. So just take a mental notice where you've started. So I've started up there. So what I also then need to do is I need to come down where it says Valley Folds. So if you're familiar with the template library, you know that where it says Valley, where it says Mountain, and where it says Cut, those are the lines that you're going to be scoring. So they're the lines that need the pencil line. So we've got another valley there, and this one will be a cut line. Now I'm going to ignore the mats and layers and the embellishments for now. So we're going to come all the way up, and I think that is all of mine done now. So let's take these ones off and take these ones off. Pop that to the side. I can put that away just shortly. And then I'm going to use my V-blade paper trimmer for this one. Now, because this is a straight edge, I could use my guillotine, but I am just going to use my Violet Studio paper trimmer. So I'm going to cut along my pencil lines. Now you can just see my pencil line and no more. So that's what I am following all the way around. So follow, cut all the way around until we get to the very end. And then what I'm going to do is, this is the line on the template that says cut. So I'm going to bring my blade down at the bottom here. And then because I can see my pencil line going up and down, I know I've got to cut just up to that line there. Pull it away. And then that's the form of my template all done. What I do need to do is come along with my scoreboard. So with my scoreboard, what we need to do is we need to score these remaining lines. Now what I am just going to do here is I'm just going to take away most of those lines in the middle just now. I'm just going to leave a little pencil line top and bottom, so I know those need to connect, and I'm going to leave a little pencil line here just to the side. Now the reason I'm doing that is I've found lately that if I leave my pencil line in and then I go and score, it's quite hard to rub away the pencil line afterwards because it's kind of like embedded into the cardstock. So therefore I rub away the excess and then I just leave a little pencil line side by side so I know where I need to join, and then I can come along and then just rub out the best I can afterwards. Now, of course, if you use our heat erasable pens, you won't need to worry about that. So I'm now just going to connect. So where I can see my pencil line, I'm just going to lightly press. Because this is going to be flexible, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it on both sides, because I really want to stretch the fibres. So I'm just going to do it both sides. Let's twist. Now, of course, here I've got my cut line, so I need to score into here. So let's take that one and then score. So I'm going to do the same again. Bend it back on itself just to stretch the fibres. And then for in this one, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to make sure I'm in my right channel here. If you've got your black lines that you put onto your scoring board, that'll be a helping hand. I know it's daft to say, as much as they are a massive helping hand, I just don't like any marks on my scoreboard, hence why I don't do it. But you can, of course. So we're going to then come along. Let's just line that one up again properly. Score. Just going to do it back on itself just to really stretch those fibres. Like so. So once I feel as though I've stretched them enough, let's just come along with my eraser and then rub them out. The side there, the side, and then these ones too. So once we have done that, what we're then just going to do is let's just bend over the corners there. So I'm just going to give that a nice burnish. Same with the smallest one. What we're going to do is we're just going to go along and then give that a nice burnish. And then what we're then going to do is then that one can then fold in on itself. And then that's going to get a nice burnish. And then fold that back on itself. That's going to be a nice burnish. And then fold that back. But we're going to then have really nice burnish. And because I'm using single-sided, we're going to get that nice kind of effect where we've got white and we've got pattern. So what we're going to do at this point is I'm going to open it up again here, and then I'm going to bend them back in on themselves. So now that I know the direction that I'm going in, bend them back, and then we're going to fold it back again, close it over. So then what we've got is we've got our white work now on the outside, which is what I want, because of course we're going to come and cover that with some of our colour card. But then when we open it up, we've still got some nice pattern on the inside from the gingham. So you're getting that best of both worlds. It's what I like about using something like a pattern paper. So what we need to do is we just need to stick some of these elements down. So let's go and let's open up that once again. So I'm going to then come along and then I'm going to glue down my triangle tab. And what that does is that just neatens the edges of where you're going to pop in your little tabs. So let's press that in. I'm going to do the same up on this side here. And then press into place here. Now remember, your instructions on the recipe cards, it tells you exactly where you need to pop your adhesive. Now for this one here, because that's going to go like that and like that, so this one is where our tab or gift card, whatever you're going to pop, is then going to go into place here. So I'm going to come along and I'm just going to put my tape down that left hand side that we can see just here. I'm not putting it there or there because then we need to, of course, be able to pop our tags in. So I'm going to come along and then I'm going to use my tacky glue. Red liner tape would work as well, but because we're going to have a lot of movement within this one, because people are going to be opening and closing it, what I'm also going to do is I'm just over the edge ever so slightly. So I'm going to bring my scissors in and then just give that a nice trim. So then therefore what's going to happen now is we've then got somewhere that then we can then come along and then pop our tags or our gift cards inside. So let's just adhere that one. So that's the way that it was. And then when we fold it that way, what we're going to do is, keeping in mind, if you follow the instructions, then of course that it tells you, but all that I'm going to do is I'm just going to then pop my adhesive down both sides, there and there, not there, because I want to be able to pop my tab in. Now this time, no specific reason, let's just use red liner tape. The only reason I'm going to do that is it's just going to show you both ways in which you can use your adhesive. So let's pop our adhesive on the side here, and then just cut at an angle. I'm then just going to come into here and then cut at an angle. Take that off, and then if I close that one over, what we've then got is we've then got our layer here that we can then pop our gift cards in. So if I lift that up, our gift cards can go in there and it can go in there as well. But then just the way we do, I've got this that is just popping over the edge ever so slightly at this base layer. So I'm just going to line that up and just take little slithers off until I get to the end. And then I've now got my little gift card wallet. Let's just take that little snip off there. And then let's take bone folder, give that a really nice burnish. And then we've got our little fold card that we can see here. Super, super cute. The other thing I'm going to do at the top just here is this is just popping over the edge ever so slightly. Again, I'm going to bring my guillotine. It's going to be a friend when it comes to anything template forum where you get little bits of the layers that pop over. So now, there we go, we've got our little wallet, our little gift tag. So let's bring back in my template here, because we've got all of these mats and layers. Now the mats and layers, they're going to fit into there and then into there as well. So what I might do is let's bring in the light pink. So to pull the gingham from the back to the front, I might still just use the gingham and then this light baby pink. So let's go back to our mats and layers here. And then I'm going to come down into the corner. And as I say, I don't like to go right to the edge of my card. I like to draw around the full of the layer. So my largest one, I'm going to want to be pink, of course. So let's go round, round, and then round. And then my back layer, I also want to be pink. So let's go and draw around the largest of the square layers. I'm going to ignore this little tag at the moment. So let's draw around here, ending up to where we were. So that's 2 layers that I've got at the moment. Let's come in, let's have a play with this gingham again. Have I got enough? So let's go in. So we're now going to go into that smaller matting layer that we've got. So that one can go into here. And I might do 2 because I might pop one in that middle layer as well. So let's actually do that. Let's do 2, and I'll come back and do another one with the baby pink. So let's pop that in into here, into there, back in with the gingham, and let's, so we're not wasting card, let's twist it around on itself. No, I need the largest one, Craig, don't you? Yep, it's going with the largest one. Let's take my razor here, let's rub out that line. Let's go back in with that largest layer to draw around. There, there, and then there. So get to the end, and then that's my layer. So what I'm going to do is roughly cut. So there's my rectangle back layer, and then my two front layers. I need to come along with our two matching layers for these, which can go there. And then I still need to do the smaller smaller rectangle. So let's bring that one. So I'm going to have to go that way. And then of course we're going to go in with our smaller matting layer. So let's take there we go. And then cut that away. I always like to cut away the excess. So let's come in now. So I've used my paper trimmer once. Now I'm going to use my guillotine. And I'm doing kind of like a bit of both, so that, just so you can see that you can use both cutting elements. You can just use your scissors if you want to. You can just use your craft knife if you want to. But the only reason I'm doing both is just so you can see both being used. So that's our pink layer. And then let's come in with these ones, and these ones, and then these ones. And these are our main mats and layers, but there's still nothing stopping us from coming in. Like what I might do is, and actually let's do that. So that one is just before 2 3/4. So we can make our own mats and layers. You're not bound by only using the mats and layers that are included. So let's go 4 1/4. So let's give our middle layer a really fine fuchsia layer that you can see there. So those are the two mats and layers that come on the template. But then what I've done is I've given myself a really, really thin fuchsia layer to really make that stand out. And then likewise, if I wanted to, I could then give my pink layer a fuchsia layer if I wanted to. And in actual fact, I'm just going to neaten that edge there. So I might give this layer a fuchsia layer. I'll wait and see. Let's just set that out of the way for now. And then for these ones, let's use our scissors for now. So let's cut. And then cut. Now of course, if this is going to be for a boy, use your blue. If you are unsure of the sex of the baby, or you don't know the sex of the baby, you can of course just use maybe like your yellow or your cream yellow. A nice little light lemon yellow is a lovely one to use if you're not sure of the sex of the baby. So let's cut following our pencil lines. I'm then going to do our deep pink, work our way along, chop off. These are also easy to use with your guillotine because they're all straight edges. You'd be able to line them up. So there's our matting layer for there, which I think what I might do for that continuity the gingham layer, just like I've done with the rectangle, I think I'll add on a piece of the fuchsia. So let's take that one, and then there's that one. Now for a shape like this, when it comes to an additional layer, what I would do, is that going to be big enough? Yeah, it will do. Let's just use that one. So I'm going to stick these on now and do my mats and layers, because it's a little bit of an awkward shape. So let's come in, and because this is the same thickness as that one, hence why this excess layer of fuchsia is the perfect width. So let's just line that up, and then what I'm going to do is use my guillotine to give me a really nice size matching border. So that one's just a bit thicker at the top, so I just need to come along and trim. So I'm happy with that, and that can sit nicely in there, which will of course match that one that's going to sit nicely in there. So you're still able to take your template library to new levels when it comes to all your layers. Add your extra layers if you want to. You could come round of course with your inks and that if you want to. So that one will go onto there. Let's take this one and also add that. And actually, is that going to be, do you know what, I'm not even going to attempt that. Let's just go right down to the bottom here and add that on there. Line that up, eyeball, when I say line it up, I am pretty much eyeballing it. And then any of these layers that just need a little tidy up, marry up, then you can do it. So I think that should be fine. So there's our next one. I'm just going to come out, I can see just very, very, very light pencil line. So I'm just going to take them away. So then what we've then got is our next layer. So they can go onto there. That one can still pop underneath into there. So we'll just need to give that a little bit of a light snug push in, but we'll get there. And then we're going to then do, I like to assemble it all first before I do the layers, because then I just know I've got all the right layers in the right place. So let's take these layers. Let's start to build these ones up. So I'm just doing mine with wet glue into here. I'm doing wet glue because it's a form of construction. Tape that in. We can then tape that one into here. By doing these layers as well, what it's doing is it's giving your fold out wallet extra strength and stability, giving it extra thickness. So let's press that, and then we're going to add these ones on. And still not decided yet if I'm going to give that pink layer a fuchsia layer. I might do. So let's go in with this one. And then that, we're going to go into there. Now what I'm going to do is, because these two are going to go onto there, and then usually you find, of course, you write on the inside, don't you? So I'm going to keep it that way. Of course, could have done it so that you write on the back, which is entirely up to yourself. So what I think I'll do is I'm going to matte and layer that onto the back, just so that the back is nicely finished as well. But I'm going to repeat that for that side and then that side. But instead of it being gingham, I'm going to do white so I can write within the middle. So let's take our pink layer, and then we're going to go back to our templates, and what we're going to do is we're going to do 2 of the largest rectangles. So we're going to do 2 and draw around. Now, of course, you could as well. This is when, if you bring in things such as your nesting dies. So if you didn't want to draw around this bit because it is a rectangle, if you wanted to just measure it and then cut, then you can do. Or use your rectangle nesting dies, you can do. But the whole purpose of this is to show you how to use the templates and the mats and layers without any dies if you don't want to. So that's what I'm doing. So there's my 2 rectangles. Let's set that out of the way for now. So let's go into my smaller rectangle. Have I got enough there? Or might have I got enough? I think I might just have enough on this one. We'll do for a small rectangle. And then when it comes to the other one, instead of using the gingham, I'm going to use my white card so that I can then write on the inside. But what I'm also going to do, instead of just using white card, I'm going to use white linen, just to keep that flow of the specialness, instead of just plain white smooth cardstock, which would still be lovely, but because I've got the texture of the linen and that visual texture of your gingham, I want to keep that flowing. So we'll do it onto our linen in a moment. Let's go back to the guillotine again now. The only reason I'm going back to it is just, again, so you can see different tools being used. The only one I'm not going to use is my, I'm just going to chop that in half, is my craft knife, because I need to change my blade. I would still cut, but it's not overly sharp, and I don't want it to scratch any of the edges of my card. So I'm just going to not worry about doing that. So chop all these off. So it'll be fine there. Yep, of course we'll do our fuchsia matte and layer. Right, I need. Let's just come face on for a moment. Right, where's my white? I've got some white just falling about here in this pad. Have I got white? Nope. I've got some up here. Here we go. Here we are. I don't want to go and cut into a whole sheet when I've got lots of little bits just lying about. So here we go. Let's go in with this. So we're going to go into that smaller template that's rectangle. So let's draw around. I do find the mechanical pencil a godsend to use because the lead always has that point to it. I'm going to bring the guillotine in. Let's just trim away any excess. I'm just going to line up and line up, even when it comes to little slithers. Just there. Right, let's come back in now with our fuchsia. So 2 3/4 by 4 1/4, 4 1/4. That's fine. And then, so that's that one. And then there's that one. I just need to trim a little bit. Right, that's those ones. I can move that out the way. So let's layer these up with your choice of adhesive. So that is then going to go onto there with my little light fuchsia matting layer. Once that's grabbed, I can then come along into here. That can go into the middle just there. Let's line that up and press. Just got a little bit pencil mark just there, so we'll take that away. So there's an outer layer, and then we're going to come along with our white linen, which will be somewhere to write on, because of course, even though it's linen, you can still write on it. Let's line that up, line that up. I'm going to go into here, and into there, and then there we go. So there's that one. So let's bring in all of our little bits here. So as I say, that one could go into there because we can still write in it. That one's going to go into there. And then what's happening is we're still pulling in the whiteness because, you know me, I'll still like my white frame. That one can go onto the back just to finish it off, plus it ties it all in because we're keeping with our white frame. And then these can go inside. So let's start to stick these inner layers in. So we're just going to add these in and line that up. I think if I went in with another fuchsia layer, that might just make it all just a little bit too thick, which I don't want. So that's why I'm just going to keep it as it is. And then that's going to go into there. Press that in. And then we're just going to close that. And then on the back, we're going to put in our last layer that we can see here. Nothing's stopping you as well doing ribbon wraps all the way around if you want to. Actually, there's a point. Can I still... Could I still do that? I could, but I'm not gonna. I might do something different actually. Right, press that in. So there is our little double pocket fold card coming into play. Write your sentiment, add additional embellishments if you want to. So this one, let's decorate as well. Now let's see if I can slot that one in. So of course that one's going to nicely decorate on the front just here. If I come in here, am I going to be able... Now I don't need any of this, so let's help ourselves. Let's chop that off. So if I bring... So I don't really need one for there, because the way that it sits nicely, that's all that you're going to see, which is pointless. So let's take that out there. So let's come back in with this one, and then we're going to attach that one on into here. And then we're going to then pop that one on there. What I'm then going to do is, well, any of that, so no, because that's back to front, so therefore that's not going to work. So I'm just trying to see about without wasting that panel that I've done. So what we're going to do within this one here is let's take, so this is now where I'm going to take it far and beyond what the template library is enabling you to do. So let's come in and then let's just use our little grids here. So what I want to do is I want to have a little triangle in there just to cover that bit. So let's use what we've got here. Let's use our tools. So let's use our little square. Now for this one, let's come in and then I'm going to use the smallest one. And in actual fact, what is the width of that? So it's just under 2.5. So let's come along. So it's just under 2.5. So let's do 2.5. Which is a perfect tiny little square. And then the width of that is 2.25. So let's say, what did I say? 2.25. So let's do 2.25 by 2.25, which is our pink layer. Right. That'll be perfect one for a tuck-in. Excellent. So that's going to be that one. So then this one, let's do 2 by 2. I'm going to come down just a little bit more. So this is now just where I'm playing. I want to try and keep roughly the same kind of thickness between the two layers that you've got, ignoring the fuchsia, but that thickness of layer, I'm trying to keep that within this handmade layer that I'm doing. So then that one is just under 2, so let's say just over 2, just over 2. Yep. Perfect. So let's move that in now. And then add that one into there. Lift. So you can add as many or as little mats and layers as you want when it comes to each template. You're not only bound by the ones included. You know, if you feel comfortable and confident enough to come along and creating your own layers, then go for it. So now that we've got those layers, and then that's going to be a perfect corner for there. Now I could just chop this corner, or corner to corner, to give me a triangle. but I'm not going to bother about that. I'm just going to come along, press that in to here. Now for this one, I'm not going to do a matte layer for that one because I like that break in layers. So I love the pattern, I love that fresh white look, plus we're going to have a tag or something that's going to be within there, plus I've broken up that back layer, add in extra strength. So what I'm going to do is let's take all of these now. So we're going to bring in our template again, and then what we're going to be doing, just tidying up these bits for a second. We're just going to come along and we're going to create one, maybe two of those tags. Put that in the bin there. There we go. So let's come along now using the layers, the tags. So we're going to stick with the pink. So let's take this layer. So this layer, actually the layer we want to, I'm going to have white. Now there's only one matting layer for this tag, so therefore the next couple I'm going to create myself. So what you can then do is simply come along, and the next layers up are the same width. Although the next layer up is a rectangle, not a tag, there's nothing stopping you from going into that first rectangle. Now I'm going to draw around the whole lot. So I'm going to draw around that smallest rectangle and I'm going to cut it out, and then you'll see where I'm going with this. So let's cut that one out. I'm just going to use my scissors again. Chop away along my lines. Like so. Right, let's go in with our actual tag now. And then we're going to chop away. So chop, chop, and then chop the last one. What I'm then going to do is then I'm going to line that up so that I've got the same kind of width all the way round. And then all that I'm going to do with my pencil, I'm really just going to eyeball this. You can tape it down and then draw a ruler line if you want to. That's entirely up to yourself. I'm going to come up into there and then see how that's going to look. Might not use it if it doesn't look too good. Actually, yeah, no, I'm happy with that. I just need to make sure that's going to tuck in there, which it will do, of course. Excellent. And then what I want to do now, I am purposely adding all these thick layers on. You don't have to. You absolutely do not have to. I'm just doing it because I want to and I like layers. So let's add my glue onto the back here. And then I'm going to give myself a really, really fine fuchsia layer once again on this tag. And then press. Bring in the guillotine again. And then let's just chop away some of that excess for now. I'm just going to trim there. Trim. And then neaten. And then just do tiny tiny little slithers just to make sure that I don't over or undercut. Well, I would rather undercut, not overcut. Just tiny, tiny little slithers. Let's just do one extra one, which is fine. So then there is my tag, which is then going to stand out onto the baby pink. So let's add that one on into there. That one we're going to add onto there, like so. And then what I am just going to do is I'm just going to trim the outer edges just ever so slightly, just the left and the right. That's it. Happy with that. So happy with that tag, because that can then sit nicely inside, of course, or of course you can have it in that one if you want to, that one or that one. So I tell you what, let's do my hole punch. So let's come in here. So if you want to get it bang on, we can then just overlay our little circle again. I'm just going to do a little pencil dot in the middle there, so I know where I'm going. I've got my little hole punch here, and then I'm going to cut that, hole punch that, which is then going to go into here. So we're going to go into there. I might actually, let's do another tag, because that can go to the back. So let's do what we've done before. So let's do one tag in our white, hold that in, and then what I'm going to do while I'm here as well, just so I don't need to come back, in the centre just do a little circle. That's then going to pop a little hole in that shortly. Let's go in with our smallest of the two rectangles again, and then we're going to draw around the smallest so that we can create a matting layer for our tag. So that's that one into there. What you could also have done, let's line that up again to give yourself that guide and that indication. What you could have done is light pencil line, and then just use, I don't know where my crafter's companion ruler's gone. Just use a ruler, gauge that thickness of your tag. So you've got that option as well. So let's cut these ones out. And then once we've done the white, what we can do is just marry it all up and see if it's working. If I have actually lined it up right. Let's take that out. Take away those little pencil lines. Let's go in with our white. And cut, cut. And then let's have a look and see. Yep, perfect. Happy with that. Let's bring in the fuchsia again. And we're going to line that up. I'm not going to add any inks or anything like that to my layers. I think the cardstock is enough. What you can then do is you can substitute your cardstock layers for ink layers. That's a good way of doing it. So let's come back in with my guillotine now. And then little and often go. There we are. And then I'm just going to take that off. And line that up. Bring that in. And then like before, I'm just going to lightly trim those bits. And then there's my second tag. So let's punch a hole. So we've now got our 2 tags here. So I'm just going to lean over to where all my ribbon is and get, if I can find my pen. Don't even know if you can hear me, but I'm still chatting away to myself, or I'm chatting away to you in the hope you can hear me. Here we go. Getting my pink ribbon now. So I've got my ribbon. Let's go, and in actual fact, that's 16 millimeters in width, so it's just a little bit, for me it's going to be a little bit thicker for these little holes, so I've got a little bit less wider ribbon. I can find the pink. Yeah, here we go, because I like my satin, as you know. Right, so let's bring in my ribbon. Where's my scissors that I like to use just for my tags? So fold it in on itself, and then I'm going to pop that one through like so, and then I'm going to go at an angle, at an angle, like that, and then I'm going to come along, and then just going to pop that over there, pop it in, pop it through, just twist that round. That can go through there. There's my little tabs, cut at an angle, like that. And then I've got my 2 little tags, and then one can go there, one can go there. You can push them in a little bit further if you want to. Spread them out just at a little bit of an angle. It looks quite cute. And then we're going to bring in this one. So we're going to say it's a girl, because it can go over the top here, and then your tags can still pop in. We can go inside, of course, if you want to, onto the back if you want to, but let's go with this one. And then this one, we're going to do it in white, the back layer in white. So let's cut that, and then we'll do it in fuchsia. We'll do it in fuchsia or baby pink. Let's do baby, yeah, let's stick with the baby pink. Opens the textured side, that's it there. I'm going to come along. Let's pop that one out. Grab my pokey tool and pop these little bits out. So it's a girl. A girl. So there's those ones. Like that. Where has... So I did have a tiny, tiny little circle there from the top of the eye. And I've just discarded it. So what I'm going to do is just where that eye is, I'm just going to take a little bit of scrap card, scrap pink. Take that out, and then there's the dot of the eye, so I don't want to lose that now that I've cut it a second time. So I don't need any of that, or that, or that. So all that can go out the way. Let's go to the back layer now for us to put our It's a Girl. And then we're going to then, because that against all the pinks will work out well. And in actual fact, what I might do, I might still give that a fuchsia drop shadow. Just to keep in with the flow of that fuchsia little shadow. And it's going to be a very, very light drop shadow, just so it overlaps onto here. So that one, we're going to go in like so. I'm going to do a drop shadow. This time, usually I do the drop shadow, of course, kind of the other way around, but I want the drop shadow to be at the top right hand corner so that we can see that into there. So then I'm going to go in with Girl first. So go in with the tacky glue. The alternative, of course, is your double-sided adhesive sheet, or your Stay Sticky glue, your spray, and if you've got your dotty tape runner, then your dotty tape runner. So let's do It's a Girl. Let's not forget our little eye. So I'm going to pop my pokey tool in there into the glue, pick it up. I'm going to take It's, and then these ones here. I'm then going to do that one into there and press that in, and then we're going to come in with a. So we've got a girl. So we've got It's a Girl. which is then going to sit nicely onto there. Really liking the look of this, really liking the look of this. So let's take my glue. Now I don't want my glue, of course, on that side here. I only want it to be on this side, and for this one I am going to keep quite flat. So that one's going to go on into there. But then let's take kind of like little, got like little lilac petals here, which would work with the pink. So what we can then do is let's take that out and that out. So actually let's put them in again for a second. Let's pop them there, there, and then into here. So, no, I'm not going to use the petals. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take my hole punch again, because I don't want to put, I want something on my tags, but I don't want something really thick like petals where it's going to potentially snag. So I'm going to go in, let's take these ones out here. I've got some scrap pink. So I've got my scrap pink, and then I'm going to come along with my little hole punch, and then I'm going to punch lots and lots and lots of little circles. So this is a great way, certainly if you've got guys in the family that really aren't into gems or pearls, but you still feel as though their card needs something. This is a great way, just little cut circles out, a hole punch, paper punch, something like that. I won't need all of these, but I'm just doing, I've still got some red from a previous project. So what I'm then going to do is, I'm just going to do dot, dot, dot with my glue. Got a little like kind of pick up pencil. So we can then pop the pinks in there. So it just means that once these have stuck, they're not going to snag against the layers like pearls might do. So therefore, let's do that down there. Another couple there. So let's do pink, pink, and then pink. Just going to use my pokey tool. Plus, it's a nice inexpensive way. Maybe if, for whatever reason, you know, you can't reach for gems or pearls this month, then doing it like this. Because even although I've got a single hole punch, it doesn't need to be a single hole punch. It could just be a paper punch. I'm going to do, tend to always do the middle first, and then out and out. I'm just going to use my pokey tool to layer up. 1, 2, 3. Use 1, 2, and then 3. And we go. So it's my 2 little tabs. And then what I could do is let's just do it so that we're just fulfilling it all the way through. Let's do it on the inside as well. All the way in. And there. And then into here. Now I'm not going to put any message or anything like that in here, but you can, whatever message that you're going to pop inside, congratulations or anything like that. So there we go. I'm happy with the inside. I can leave the inside like that. Of course you could do ribbon wrap if you want to, that's up to yourself. But then if we've got that one, That we're then just going to then pop into here. That can then pop in at the back, and then let's bring dot dot dot. Now on the front I could use, of course, some petals, but seeing as I've done my little circle punches on the tags, let's just keep that flowing from the start to the end. Let's do dot dot dot, and then going to come along dot dot, and then dot. Going to line that up, line up like so. And then I think what I will do, so let's bring in the little butterfly die that I like. Little butterfly. Let's do fuchsia. Let's try fuchsia. Try the fuchsia with the butterfly. Into here. Yeah. So I'm just going to do it kind of just within the middle of it's the fuchsia breaks it all up. Like we've got there. And then that, actually no, I'm not sure if the fuchsia sits right. Let's try the pink. I know a butterfly will look nice. I think a little butterfly will look really, really nice. But it's the colour of the butterfly. That's it. Better. Done. Done, as Gordon Ramsay would say. So I don't need that. And then there we go. It's a girl. We've created our little double pocket fold. Of course, if you've got gift cards or anything like that, can go in there if you want to. Little notes in there, or attach your gift card onto these ones if you want to. You can see there is our double pocket fold card. It's a girl. I've done 2 of the tags. I've used my expression die, opening it up, somewhere to write in the middle if you want to. I've gone in, keeping it white, pink, with a little bit of fuchsia. That can go in there. That can go into there. Actually, let's kind of offset it like so. There we go. That's it. Hopefully that is some help to you when it comes to the template library, when it comes to the double fold pocket card. Of course, you could do it with the blues, you could do it with the yellows, you can do it with any collection you want, any colour cardstock that you want, theme it all that you want. I wanted to then take it just to that next level where I can show you how you can then, of course, use the mats and layers that come within the template, but then you can start to use your own mats and layers as well. What we could do is, let's take that, have I got... just trying to think if I've got thin ribbon that we could seal it, because we could wrap it around twine. White twine would be lovely. Little Velcro dopper, or I'll let you think that. I like that openness with the pocket that you've got there. So we've got our open pocket. It's a girl with her expression dies. So there we go. So, as I say, I hope you've enjoyed this video. So that was from expansion pack 4. It was yellow expansion pack of the template library, and it was number 8, which was the double fold pocket card. So thank you so much for tuning in and watching. Please don't forget to hit that bell so you're going to be notified every time I pop a tuition video up, and then also give me a thumbs up, so you're going to subscribe so that you'll see me popping up, of course, on your YouTube channel. Right, I will see you again very shortly for another video here on my YouTube channel. We'll see you later. Bye.